All right, hello everybody. It's apparently it's video day. It's the 22nd of April, and it's been a while since I've did a video, so I figured, hey, I might as well just bang off a few because there's been a lot of things on my mind. First of all, this is Anthony Stewart. This channel is Food for Thought, and I am challenging everything they ever said. Basically, if they say to do it, or they say insert whatever here. I want you to think about it and ask questions. So we are asking questions until we find the answers, which may never happen. It seems to be the more I learn, the less I know. I know that sounds cliche, but it's very, very, very apparent. I am currently studying to be a holistic nutritionist, and the more I learn about it, the more questions I have. And to be quite honest, over the last month, yes, I was ill, and searching for inspiration to be as helpful as I can for the people that I'm helping, if that makes any sense. I am constantly in search of um, like knowledge about physiology, about biology, about nutrition, and I think we get lost in a lot of things, and I would question everything. Start with that. Now I have come to a conclusion. For now, this may change, and maybe I'm just gonna talk about it a little bit today about how I came to this conclusion. And it's been a complete journey for the last 3 years, and my search to find what makes me feel optimal. And as it stands right now, I feel great every day. Aside from being ill about a couple weeks, we say like under 100%. I am back to normal, back to 100% feeling amazing, sleeping well, eating as well as I can, and we'll get into that. I am making sure I get 10,000 steps a day, taking a cold shower every single day this year, including when I was ill. Um, I'm doing some Wim Hof breathing, and I have a very minimal workout schedule. It includes, right now, this month, hanging, just that's it, just hanging from a bar for up to about a minute and a half a day, every morning. And then I do like 25 push ups, 25 bridges, about a minute worth of downward dog to cobra. It's just a couple yoga moves. And then I'm doing some Asian squats every day. Not to mention my knees over toes stuff that I backed off on. My ankle and my knee have 100% healed since December, since I slipped and fell. My ankle was injured and my knee wasn't 100%, and they are completely healed. I'm feeling they're wonderful. I once again owe it to a lot to Ben Patrick's Knees Over Toes, bulletproofing your knees ideas. You can follow him, Knees Over Toes guy. Google him; he's all over the internet. Great. A lot of people have had tremendous success. Now, like I was saying, I was feeling a little down. I was feeling a little uninspired because I'm trying to take all this stuff in, and every day it seems like I learn something that makes me question something else. And it's, I'm not going to say frustrating, because I enjoy this knowledge and I'm trying to put everything together. So I'm firmly believing, like, my I think we underestimate hormones, and I think we underestimate the power of feeling good, and we don't know what it means. What I never realized what feeling good was until I started feeling good and realized back, you know, the last 2 decades of my life were not optimal, and I was not well, healthy. Um, Even though I thought there was times where I thought I was, doing the right things, working out, eating right, apparently. And now I see that I was totally wrong, and not, maybe I wasn't ready to take in the truth, or I just was, just naive in my own mind, and thinking that I knew everything, and it's we don't. But I have come to I guess it's a conclusion or a blanket statement, and it comes with reason and probably a price and a lot of probably criticism. But I am thoroughly thoroughly investigating human health and nutrition and wellness throughout a lot of avenues, mind, body, and soul. I've been into the longevity space, the nutritional space. I've read over the last 3 years. I've read like 15, 16 books. Probably, if you average it out, probably 6, 7 hours a day, learning about physiology, biology, biochemistry, understanding different what how we uh, use energy, what makes us tick, what the building blocks. So it goes. I go down rabbit holes about, like, protein. What is it? Like, what are the amino acids? What are the essential for what's essential for life? Why do some people feel this way? The questions I keep asking, trying to answer, and I try and be objective. So both sides of the coin. When I started nutrition, when I started studying nutrition, I was debating on whether to try veganism or vegetarianism, at least, to try and understand that aspect of it. And, well, since then, I have been since last May, almost 1 year, specifically animal based with bouts of 100% carnivore. I've never felt better. I've never looked better. And I've come to believe that regardless of which way you choose to take in, or which way you choose, if you're plant based, vegan, paleo, keto, whatever, okay? The most important thing is whole food right now. And I've come to these conclusions where I don't think it's what you're eating, more specifically what you're not eating or consuming, is vastly more important. So what do we understand with, like, we have essential nutrients that we can't get from that we have to get from food. And what is food? Is it entertainment? Is it nourishment? So you start rolling back the questions, going backwards. What do we need? What do we want? And what fuels the fire? So we need protein, we need energy. We know this. What's optimal? What's more natural? Let's ask the questions. We've never ever got energy from carbohydrates before there was the agricultural revolution, aside from a few weeks of the year and what was, found to get us through till we got fat. Now, just like a quick example is the Inuit, and up north, when there's no plants, none, they lived off fat and flesh, pretty much. So it can be done, for one, and now we got to say, is it optimal? We've evolved on meat and fat. We did not evolve with crops. Like, there was no, we weren't born. The human species wasn't born into broccoli, kale, and cauliflower. It's pretty obvious. I mean, sure, argue with me. Go ahead. I challenge you to do that. But no, we've evolved our agriculture into what we have now, and that's pretty obvious. So it comes back down to the nutrients you can get from animals, the flesh and the fat of animals, and seafood and dairy included. And I have come to a conclusion where I think, my opinion here, like, I'm not a scientist or a doctor. This is a personal. I know I say that almost every single video, but I just wanted to hit home that I'm a normal guy. I was curious, and it just led me down down this path. I've come to a conclusion after 3 years of pretty extensive, in-depth comparative analysis, referencing, learning about all my body and how my body's acted, comparing, what happened to me, what I've done, how it's made me feel. And, I'm going to throw it out there. This is my bias. I've said it before. We need to get our nutrition from the flesh and fat of animals. Seafood, eggs, mostly red meat. I That is my belief. And if you want to challenge me on that, I'm all ears. I've been trying to disprove it. But I think we've been led down a horrible path of financial driven, like making us consume things that we don't need in the name of being better for us. And, monocrop agriculture compared to regenerative farming, I don't like, what, this argument, it's like, why can't we just all get along, right? And I think when someone's driving you to consume products in the name of health, it's not as natural as it should be. And I think we have to look to Mother Nature and God and how we came to be. And that's it. Now, the further you go away from getting your nutrition from the fat and flesh of animals, and that's not saying you can't do it. That's not saying you can't live on it. That's just saying I believe that is the optimal way. What I'm saying is you need to take in context nutrition, everything you do. When you convert from a standard American diet or a standard Canadian diet and go to vegetarianism, you are cutting out a bunch of crap. You're gonna feel better, obviously. When you go vegan, the same thing. Unless, but we gotta look at it like an Oreo cookie is a vegan food. Coca-Cola is a vegan food. Is that good for you? No. But if you choose a specific diet plan that eliminates processed foods, whatever it is, you're gonna feel better. Is it optimal? How do you know? How do we all know? How do you know? You haven't tried everything. And when you look into it a little bit further, into lack of nutrition, B12, choline, creatine, carnosine, anserine, taurine, tyrosine, omega-3 fatty acids. These are things that are very, very prominent in the animal kingdom. Fat-soluble vitamins, where you have to supplement or find a way to fill those voids from a plant-based idea. That's my opinion. Well, already we should. How did we get here? Well, we didn't start supplementing. We didn't have the supplement stores to go to before we evolved. We didn't have modern medicine. How are we still here? People argue about lifespan. Yes, whatever. But how did we get here? How did we get to this point? I think human society got in the way. Human greed got in the way about optimal health. And now, from the birth to your death, how it's supposed to be compared to what our influences are, and we can go down that huge rabbit hole later. But today, this is how I came to this conclusion. And I think you should be eating, my personal opinion, you should be getting your nutrition from the fat and flesh of animals, mostly ruminants, red meat. Seafood is okay. Dairy, if you can handle it. Eggs and poultry are okay. Pigs should, I would say arguably minimally. But the fat for energy and the protein for your building blocks. 100%. Now, plants, what can you handle? I mean, there's toxic overload and autoimmune conditions, and when we look at phytates, oxalates, salicylates, lectins, there's some anti-nutrients there, like no question. So you can't deny that. And gut health, huge. But what's the easiest on the gut? You ask the questions. You think it's a bunch of fiber? Well, then sure, but try and prove yourself. Go and do some research and figure out that if it was all about fiber, why do people thrive without it? Right? Those are questions again. If you are supposed to eat 40 to 60% of your energy from carbohydrates, why do people feel good without them? So these questions I want to ask with you. And I mean, I think the amount of plants, when you look at it, food for entertainment. Now everybody's different. Everybody's got a like specific amount of social pressure, and you know, influence. Now I understand people have children and people have, like, we can get into what's proper nutrition. I'm really open and debating what our children should be eating. That's kind of obvious. Over the time of not making videos, I've read a book, Robert Lustig's Metabolical. Fascinating. His two primary things are protect the liver, feed the gut. Now, I don't know necessarily if I agree with feed the gut with everything. I believe disruption and causing harm to the gut would probably be more, but that's my opinion. Obviously, he is a pediatric endocrinologist. He knows his shit. I'm not gonna argue with it, but I think there's more than one way to do anything. So we can all agree fructose is bad. Overdoing, I mean, yes, some people get away with eating anything, but whether it's optimal or needed is two different things. I think we start eating with our entertainment and our hearts and minds in not what we need. And once that happens, we can't differentiate what is needed to what we really, really, really want. And that's sugar addiction. People think that they're not addicted to foods or emotionally tied to foods they eat. Try to stop something for 7 days. If you cannot, there's a good chance you're addicted to it. You might go through a withdrawal period and realize, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to ask the serious questions. Cut out something for 7 days, and if you can't do it, really, really look at it. Why? And it's like that simple. Now, I don't want to take this too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know these videos get long, so we're going to keep it is I just want people to understand, and I'm going to do my best to give my honest opinion, and I will help everybody within their own nuanced context, their own situation, what works. If you're feeling great, don't change a thing. If you're not feeling great, you need to start asking some serious questions. I believe you should be eating meat and the fat. And the rest is very, very subjective, contextual, and personal. But I want you to stay strong, keep thriving, and ask the hard questions, and don't listen to what they say. Find out for yourself, because there's a lot of noise out there, and we need to sift through that stuff. All right, please, everybody, if you can like this, that would be great. And please subscribe to the channel. And if you feel like this can help somebody, well, share it. That would be awesome. And if you need any help, I'm here to help. So, comment or email me. My information will be below, and we will keep asking questions. And I'm going to keep making this content, guys, just to, not for money. This is for nothing you do for yourself should cost anything. Fasting, eating better. I mean, you're gonna buy food, obviously, but if it's in somebody else's best interest, it's probably not good for you. Simple. Start asking the questions. Stay strong, be safe, and we'll talk soon.